if they're slowing down, are they being productive?
I think sometimes instead of going and trying to do the next thing, I think it's better to just be.
I think a 9 can really help them be fully present, like what you were saying.
Welcome to Enneaways, a podcast all about the Enneagram, what we love about the Enneagram, how we're growing in the Enneagram, and just
ways to shine our light.
Ways to shine our light.
In the
I'm sorry. My wife, Laura, she is a certified Enneagram coach, and I am the co-host, Zach, as we dive a little bit deeper into the resource points, which we're currently on for the Enneagram.
Yes, we are on Type 3. Last week we did the Type 3's resource point of the 6, the loyalist, and ways they can use that to grow into a healthier version of themselves. This week, we are going to talk about how the 3, the achiever, can use the other resource point, which is the 9, which is Zach's type, so he can help us get a glimpse of that as well. And so we will dive into that after Zach does a few lightning round questions.
All right.
Yes.
This one I think is a fun one. I don't think we've ever done this one before. But what cartoon character are you most like?
Ooh. I feel like we should answer this for each other.
No.
Okay.
I know which one, when we were dating, which one you liked most. Or like you grew up liking most.
Tom and Jerry?
No, I was going to say Johnny Bravo.
Hey, Primo.
Yeah, didn't you like, you loved, you had a Johnny Bravo shirt. I remember that.
That is so funny. I did. I think my brother Nick would watch that. What's a character that's like crazy, kind of wild? Like not Tasmanian Devil.
No, but like the Animaniacs.
Like fun.
I don't know. Maybe this is a lot harder than what I thought it would be.
I'm kind of not sure. I know what I like, but I'm like, I don't know that I'm like those personality
Classic
types.
Cartoon characters.
What about like Looney Tunes people?
Like Bugs or Daffy.
Daffy Duck, maybe?
Yeah, but he got it really serious. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he'd be like Bugs, if anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bugs is a fun one.
What about you?
I haven't had much time to think about this one, but a cartoon character that I would be most like.
Ooh, I have a good one for you.
Oh,
but you go.
I was gonna say Ron from Kim Possible. That's like a deep cut, though.
Okay. Are those cartoons?
Yeah, Kim Possible.
Okay.
It's on or
I'm picturing
Disney
real
Channel.
people. I kind of thought of Winnie the Pooh for you. He's just a good old pal.
Yeah, well then you'd be Tigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh.
So.
But you're kind of Tigger-like, too.
No, but I.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are.
But I think if anybody, like if we were to name off the Enneagram types, Tigger would probably be a 7 and Winnie the Pooh would probably be a 9.
Probably.
We won't say Eeyore.
Yeah. Okay, I do want to interject real quick because we were recording a panelist podcast with someone last night. We're excited to share those with you guys in the future. We're excited. But they said that they pause our episode during the lightning round questions and write down their answers. And I loved that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
So if anyone else wants to do that, I thought it was a great idea by Andrew, Zach's cousin, who's type 7. And he's going to be on our panelist podcast for the type 7s. In the future, we have lots of fun things coming. So just thought I'd put that in there.
You can share it with us. We love to hear that kind of stuff. So, okay, here's a little more deeper question. What's a risk that you took that you're glad you did?
I would say this one ages me back. But when I was first a nurse, I was on PCU, which is a progressive care unit, like a critical care step down. And I did not like it. It did not feel like it felt like me. And I wanted to do something more uplifting and joyful. And I was like, maybe I could be a labor nurse. And so I kept hounding that floor. I went in person. I kept going up there. And then I got hired on labor and delivery. And I was a labor and delivery nurse for 10 years. And it was super fulfilling, but scary, rewarding, all the things. But that was a risk. Because I had to put myself out there and go for something new and learn something. And it was a great part of my career. So that would be mine. What about you?
Yeah, I was thinking about career stuff. I mean, there's always the jump that I made from the on-air side of radio to a sales side. That was kind of a risk, but I think like my favorite risk that I took was not like leaving, like taking the risk of like staying here and being, especially with our relationship early on, and being like, okay, I'm not gonna take this job down in Alabama just to be closer to family. I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna see where this goes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I did.
Me too.
Every single day.
So.
And then the last lightning round question: when do you feel most like yourself?
Like who I'm around, or just when?
Just when.
I think when I'm able to be free, not tied down by like someone else's agenda.
Yeah.
Or the boring, monotonous stuff, but just like, I think when my light shines, this is how I think of it. Like, it's when I'm able to just be like having fun and in the moment, present. And, you know, if I'm stressed or thinking about other things or not enjoying what I'm doing, then it's not as easy for me to be able to be that playful, fun part.
I get it.
So that's what I would say. How about you?
Mine goes back to a little bit of what we were talking about with my cousin when we were recording the episode and talking about like how we recharge, because I think him and I both at times look like extroverts. We were always like fun and jovial with the family and stuff and doing crazy things. But then we both, I mean, later on in life realized like it's doing, you know, stuff by yourself, you know, that kind of recharges you and whatnot. So I would say like when I go out and I rollerblade and I listen to music and I listen to my favorite kind of music, which is alternative and whatnot. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's probably when I feel most like myself.
That's good, because you're then honoring your preferences.
Right.
And as a 9, that's not always something that you probably naturally do.
No? Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's perfect, because we'll talk about how now the 3, the achiever, someone who is very goal-oriented, successful, encouraging, uplifting to others, driven, go, 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 go type person, how they can use the 9 as a resource point. So the myth we're going to use for this episode is rest is unproductive.
Okay, that's a good myth. Yeah, I'm all about that rest.
So what do you think makes slowing down, or could make slowing down, difficult for a type 3, Zach? What would you say?
I would say because a type 3 is ultimately about the goal and achieving and showing others that they are about the goal and achieving. So I think that if they look like they're resting, they might think to themselves like, oh, people are going to think I'm lazy or I'm unproductive.
Yeah. And I feel like some type 3s may care how it looks for the outside, but some it could be more that internal pressure.
That's true too.
I'm just thinking of the instinct stackings, which we haven't gone into yet, but like a self-preservation 3, more it's like for themselves they want to be productive.
And be really hard on themselves about it. Okay.
Right. But for the other types, it could be a little bit of showing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think if they're slowing down, are they being productive? And if they're not productive, who are they?
Yeah.
So that is something to think about to our type 3s. So what we want to kind of get across in this episode is to show that slowing down can actually help you become a healthier version of yourself, and that rest actually can be productive. The 9 can help you do that, because remember, the 9 is the peacemaker.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I want to keep going, what's the next goal? Try just saying, I can simply be. And so, Zach, you can share some of the ways a 9 could help with that. What do you think?
I think that a 9 could be, like, I've often felt like just being is important. And I don't know, that's always resonated with me because I am a type 9, but I think sometimes instead of going and trying to do the next thing. I think it's better to just be with people and listen.
Yes.
Instead of trying to do something like and give advice. Sometimes you could just be there and hang out and say, I'm going to get into a non-judgmental space and just listen to whatever the person across from me is talking about, and I'm just going to listen to them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to interject. I'm not going to try to tell my own story. I'm just going to listen to what they have to say and say, oh, well, I never thought of it that way. Or, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Or something else is just, and I find that this is a fun way to be, is just to pick up a book. Pick up any book. Pick up a book that you are like, well, I just might as well jump into this one because I heard, it's good. It could be fiction. It could be nonfiction. It could be about, doesn't have to be even towards a purpose.
And I love those points because I think a 9 can really help them be fully present, like what you were saying, in the moment, in a conversation, not try to stop that to-do list in your head. Like, be in the conversation, hear people.
Yeah.
Zach, I will brag about you. He is truly the best listener I've ever encountered. Like, I'm just, as you were talking about, just listen. I was picturing, I literally had a visual of us all up north with my family, all sitting around. And Zach's always like, we were all having a conversation. And you almost like forget you're there. And now that's sad to say.
I know, people do.
Well, because you don't ever, like, he never interrupts a big, like, conversation. Like, when you and I are talking, we're both talking. But, like, when it's a group of people, you are very intent on just listening and letting other people talk.
Yep.
And not a lot of people can do that. So kudos to that. I need to be like my husband. But just to like listen and allow other people to share, you don't always have to be the one telling your stories and sharing. Like this is for the 3s, not for the 9. I think they should share more.
Yeah.
But, and I too, I mean, all of us, I'm not saying the 3s share too much.
No.
Just tapping into your 9 can help you really listen and just see where the conversation goes from there, kind of thing.
That's great. Thank you for that. And yeah, I think it's a quality that we could all use no matter what number. I think if we listened more instead of telling,
yes,
we live in a much better world.
Yeah, totally. So let's all listen better this week. Okay, I think the 9 also can help you find peace even when you're not being productive. So for a 3, maybe they feel like I can finally enjoy the evening and rest once I finish my to-do list.
That makes sense.
Well, the to-do list never is finished because there's always something to add to it. So how can you find peace even when you have a to-do list and you have more stuff to be productive with? Like that, I feel like could be a challenge. Like try to find moments of peace even when you have this whole list, because otherwise it's like your whole life you're going to feel that stress of I have to get this done, I have to get this done, I have to get this done. So to be able to just like find rest in there. And then also I think just valuing who you are over what you do. I think just being content with who you are, being comfortable. Like a 9 is someone who's like wants to bring the harmony and comfort even to themselves. And so you just like to be able to be okay with who you are, even without accomplishing things. I think is a big thing for a 3.
Yeah. I would say, and one of the cool things that you could do, and really anybody could do this, but I think talking about who you are, getting into like what are your core values, and identifying those, and those will never be something that will make you like that much more productive in what you're currently doing, but it will, I think, center you to who you are as a person.
Love that.
So if you could
tell us more about that.
Well, if you could come up with core values, and what you do is you kind of look at what are things you write down on a list of tons of different things that could be your core value. You look at all of that. Maybe it's family, and it's hard work, and then you can look at the whole list that you have, kind of take that list of, let's say it's 50 core values, and how can you put them into like 3 different groups, and then name that group. And then you can go further and you can create your own mission statement based on the 3 groups of those centered core values that you have. And then if you are, a person of faith like Christianity, you can look into the Bible and find verses that identify with your core values.
Ooh, do you have an example of this for our listeners? Like you see what's common in certain...
Yes, there's a common theme with core values. Sometimes it's friends, family. Okay, so my core value is relationship.
Okay, gotcha.
So then, boom, that could be one of your core values.
So you're just finding what pops out.
Kind of, yes. In a long list of everything that could potentially be your core value.
Okay.
There's worksheets online. You can find this kind of stuff.
I like that. That's really good because I think that really could help all of us find who we want to be.
Yeah.
Apart from like, oh, my Enneagram type really makes me act this way. Okay, well, but like you have control over that.
Absolutely.
And then to be able to like look at that every day would be helpful. Like, this is what I want to remember, how I want to strive to be, not just like, here's my to-do list for the day.
Right.
So you can be more than that.
Absolutely.
Even. I love that. Okay, so we talked about all the ways the 9 can help the 3. Some things to watch out for, sometimes in stress, that if the 3 went to the 9, say in stress, things you'd want to watch out for was if you started becoming complacent and not getting anything done. That's totally opposite of a 3. So that would be really if you're in more of, maybe you're like in a darker state or you're down and you need to talk to someone. So figure out why maybe you're all of a sudden not wanting to be as productive, and kind
you're taking over those sloth-like tendencies that a 9
can have in times of stress. If you're avoiding important conversations because you're not wanting the conflict, you want to still have those conversations. And then, if you start losing motivation, just kind of what we already talked about. So I think one practical challenge the 3 could do this week is spend 10 minutes. Now, I toned it down. At first it was 20, and I thought that feels like a lot. So spend 10 minutes doing nothing productive, just being present. And if you need to start by doing it just once a week, fine. Or if you're like, I could do that once a day. Okay. Or if you need to tweak the minutes, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just try to be present, whether it's with your kids, with your spouse, with a friend, or just with yourself, like out in nature. And having that have nothing to do with being productive.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a good challenge. And I think just something to remember is that the 9s can remind the 3s that peace is just as valuable as productivity.
Absolutely.
So it helps. I think the resource points are awesome because it actually can help you see the other types in the Enneagram and see their strengths they bring. And then it's like, ooh, I want to be like that. And I'm going to take a little bit of that.
Yep.
And use it for myself. So I think it's really good when you can see the strength other types bring, and especially the ones you're connected to. So the 3, again, is connected to the 6 and the 9. So the 6, like we talked about last week, helps them understand trust and be courageous. And the 9 helps them rest and find peace. We're going to end with a little game, the game we did before with the other types.
Yeah.
Okay, so doing or being is kind of the theme. So we want to be being.
Okay.
Okay, so do you think winning or belonging is what we're going to aim for?
Probably belonging.
Performing or being authentic?
Being authentic.
Yes. Hustling or resting?
Resting.
Productivity or presence?
Presence.
Ooh, yes. But of course, those are hard, and we know that because it's like your natural tendencies. But if there's one thing you, as listeners, feel like really is hard out of those things we just talked about, like focus on that more. Like, is it harder for you to be authentic?
Yeah.
Or is it harder for you to be present and not as productive? Or is it harder for you to belong versus winning? And then kind of sit with that, figure out, why is that hard for me? And just think on that. I think the Enneagram is so helpful because you can take time to reflect and think about things maybe you never have before.
It's hugely important.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one last thing I wanted to say was that healthy 3s don't stop achieving. They discover they were valuable long before they accomplished anything.
Love that.
How cool is that?
That is really cool.
So 3s, we love you for who you are, not just what you do.
Right.
We admire all the great things you can do and accomplish. That's for sure. And I'd love to have a 3 on my team.
Mm-hmm.
I work with 3s. It's great. But it's not about what you do. It's who you are. So we do value that. And we see you for what's beneath the trophy and the accomplishment.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a great episode talking about that. If you have any comments, if you want to reach out to us, you can always email you at feelingtypey@gmail.com, going to feelingtypey.com. Hit us up on the Anyways podcast on Instagram. You can DM us there. And also make sure you subscribe to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure, if you have a moment, just leave us a review. We would love to hear your feedback. We love when we get feedback about the podcast.
We got a review the other day on our website, but it was back from May, and I was like, oh, I didn't ever see it.
I know, but I'll try to pay more attention to that. But I do love it.
It was so fun to see. Yeah, and we appreciated whoever that was, our anonymous reviewer. Yeah. So with that, friends, we'll just say keep shining your light. Until next time.